Okay, my car is a 2003 Toyota Prado. It is a 120 series petrol. Currently has a problem. I believe it's the starter motor and the engine is not turning over. The battery is fully charged and good to go. And just to indicate a bit of an issue, nothing turns. And so I suspect it's going to be the starter. So our plan is going to be to take the starter out, examine it, and see if it requires replacement or not. If you're unsure where the starter is, it's located all the way down there. An easier way to see it is down by my front left passenger wheel, right there. That is the starter motor, and we're going to get that out. Okay, right there. Please subscribe. What we need to do first is disconnect the battery. So we'll take off the negative terminal first. 10mm socket, remove the negative. There we go. The next task will be to jack up the car. I want to remove this tire. That'll give me clear access to the starter motor in there. So we'll use like a car jack and we'll support it with an extra jack there as a secondary backup. I'll just put an extra car ratchet stand right here and just lower it down just as a secondary precaution. All right, there we go. That's good. With the tyre removed, we now have a lot clearer access to get to the starter. So with the starter here, there is a electrical terminal right here that plugs out. There is a nut on the rear here to remove. And then on the back side, there are two studs that are 14mm socket in size. And one is all the way down there. And there's another one higher just up in here in a bit of a tricky spot. Both of these are difficult. That's tricky. That's the trickiest one to get out. But we'll do that next and get this whole unit out. Okay, so we'll first remove this electrical terminal at the back. There we go, that comes out quite easily. Okay, we next get a 13mm socket to remove the nut that is at the back of this connection. So I'm going to use a smaller socket and wrench it, just gets it in there a little bit easier. All of this is very tight. Okay, I've broken the tension on that nut and I can do the rest by hand. There we go. That's it. And then this terminal should remove off nicely. There was a washer that just fell down. I'll just grab that, but that's what it looks like. So a spring washer just fell down, so I forgot about that and it'll be up on the ground. Okay, our next challenge will now be to tackle that stud there and that stud bolt up on there. They are 14mm sockets and they are quite tight because of this exhaust pipe system right here, but we'll get in there. So I'm going to use a breaker bar with my 14mm socket on the end, and this will first break off the tension, and then I'll be able to use a smaller ratchet drive to take out those studs. Okay, we'll squeeze this on up behind. There we go. And I should be able to just push it. There we go. That's moved it a little bit. There, that's good. Now the top stud there is probably the most difficult to get to. So all I've done is I've actually put up my spanner up here and I can get a little bit of leverage like that. I couldn't get the breaker bar in here, but I've got it loose and that's enough to be able to unscrew it. So I'll now use my pneumatic ratchet gun. This is able to get up the narrow part and is able to unscrew it really rapidly for me. There we go. That's probably the trickiest one to get out. We'll get that bottom one out. That one's easy. And that's that bottom one. With both studs removed, we should be able to get the starter out. There we go. And there she is. Alright, we're going to open it up a little bit, just see how dirty it is and just see if it still operates or if I need to get a new one. And I'll just try to stick it in a little bit closer so you can kind of see what the go is here. Just how it sits inside that housing. Okay, I'm just going to do a bench test of the starter motor. Now, this is pretty simple to see if it's working or not. I've simply got it connected up to 12-volt battery, and up on the back here, there is a 12-volt post right there. That's where the plug was, over there. You don't have to worry about that stud. All you need to do is connect your 12-volt positive to the 12-volt post and the negative up to another part of the body of the starter. And I don't have any jumper leads. There are better ways to do this, but this will suffice for now. I have my additional little lead right there coming from the 12-volt post, and essentially I should be able to touch it on the terminal and there should be some action, but there is nothing happening. I have tested my voltmeter. It actually does work, as in there is 12 volts, but there is some kind of an issue with the starter, because as soon as you touch that electrical terminal in there, as I just indicated before, the solenoid would actually kick in and it would jump out and begin to spin. But this is not doing anything, indicating to me that there's probably a fault up here in the solenoid, some kind of an electrical fault. I'll open this up now and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so I've removed the solenoid, and just so you can see how this works, there is an actuating bolt or arm inside and a spring, and there you go. This is like a big magnet. Now, this is faulty. I've done my tests on it and there must be some sort of short circuit that's occurring in there. But normally what would happen is this arm goes in and out, as you can see. So there is a little actuating arm inside there, and when you push that, basically this pulls down. This is its normal state, okay, when it's like that. And I'm going to literally just pull this forward and watch what happens. Goes like that. When we push it up now, watch. So the way that works is that operates off the solenoid mechanism there. When it magnetizes or it energizes, it'll pull in, and if you remember, when it pulls in, the arm comes out and that begins to spin your motor, gets your motor started. So without this working, okay, this is always going to be in a closed state like that, and when this energizes, this will pull in, bringing out that spinning arm there, and this should work as well, but this is faulty. So this is what the cause of the issue with the starter here is, and my cheapest option, I think, is simply just to buy a new starter, which is what I'm going to do now. And I'll just show you what the inside of the starter motor looks like. Remove these two screws here. Okay, there's your different gears, Planetary gears they're called. There we go. So it's all magnets inside. Okay, so the cheapest starter motor that can replace my one, I found it upon eBay and I got it for the price of $98.99. That's at the time of this recording in July 2025. And so if you're looking for this, you want to search up, Land Cruiser Prado 120, and then pretty much the GRJ125 or the GRJ125 will fit this particular series of vehicle. My vehicle obviously is 2003 model, 4 litres, and you can actually have a look down here to find your exact model. And my particular one is 2003 GRJ120 SUV 4.0 V6 WTI. And here are some more details across from here. And just over here, this will give you a couple more bits and pieces of information. 12 volt. These are the various series. 1.6 kilowatt and 10 teeth. 2 days later, surprisingly fast from eBay, the new starter has come. And here we go. This is it. Can't believe I got this for, what was it, $99 or $98. And this is the old original one, and this is the new. So let's just hook this up to 12 volts and just give this a little test run just to see if it actually turns on. All right, we're just going to apply a 12 volt charge to this just so you can see how a starter should actually work. So I've got active or positive to my 12 volt positive post. Just got it connected, the ground to the body. And I'm going to be connecting this to the actual starter paddle switch. And this is what should happen. There we go. That's how it should work. So this is a working starter. Okay, so we're now going to be placing this starter back into where it's meant to go. All right. There we go, it's positioned now. Now I need to put the 2 stud bolts back in. First one. That's good. We're next going to put the 12 volt positive on. We have a washer and a nut. Put the battery terminal back on. And now, moment of truth. Let's see if she starts. There we go. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Catch you on the next one.